It's the forehead. It's the forehead. We're in our rooms and we're talking about AI.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the greatest disaster on the internet. It's the Four Heads Podcast. I'm Goldenboy. You got Bren, Reinforce, and Bren, and we're here to give you updates on critical issues that are obviously affecting Bren's life. We'll get on that in a little bit. But before we do that, though, firstly, make sure you give us a follow on Spotify. You can rate and review on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment as well. If you happen to find this episode interesting, you can also give it a like there, too. We want to thank last week's special featured, I guess, opening that we had. It was a sick anime opening. Anime intro made by Baby Blue, who's a friend of all of ours. We play Valorant with her. She's amazing. Give her some love if you get a chance to do so. She actually does some great audio work, and we just, we were curious if people were going to notice it. Clearly, you guys did, and I think for that reason,
notice the intro.
That's right. It made a mark on everyone. So pretty sick stuff once again, baby.
Mate.
Yeah, missed the intro, dog.
It's been stuck in my brain for like the past few days because it's actually very catchy.
What do you guys think about my hairstyle?
I don't even know Japanese. Your hairstyle now.
You look like a K-pop star.
You think I could rock this on a regular basis?
For what purpose?
Just out and about.
Scare people away.
You know what?
Do a
scarecrow a bit, yeah.
Grow your hair more. I think you should grow it all the way out.
Yeah.
Just screw it. Yeah, just do it, man.
Weren't you gonna make it purple?
Not purple. That rumor circulated.
Okay, calm down, Ninja.
I read it on the dark web.
It's kind of I was gonna dye it silver again. I think because it's like a silver's a good color because once the toner kind of fades, it's just bleach blonde at that point, so I don't have to fuck around with it.
Yeah.
Like I got this dyed in December.
Yeah,
obviously needs dyeing again because you can see just the roots.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I always make fun of Matt for having frosted tips, but here you are with actual frosted tips.
Yeah.
You did it, man.
Josh, what color are you gonna dye your hair to?
Very
if it
funny.
ever grows back. Are you gonna keep that look, or are you gonna grow? Are you actually gonna grow your hair back?
I'm gonna leave it for a while. I've decided I'm gonna leave it for like at least a month, maybe a bit more. What I'm slightly concerned about though is
the
the
dent from the headset on your head.
It's not a dent though. This is the problem, right? Is that it's a dent when there's hair, but for I mean, it was a dent for Tyler One as well, and he's got no hair. But for me, what happens is the skin underneath swells up, and it swells up to the point where the skin rises above the hair. So I have a completely bald patch if I leave the headphones on top of my head.
Oh my God.
And it's not that it's rubbing the hair away, because once the skin inflammation settles down, the hair returns, pokes its little head back up above the ground.
I'm here.
But I am a bit concerned that I will like permanently damage the hair follicles, and I'll just always have a bald headphone patch.
So that's the bald life, baby, bro. It happens to me all the time. If I do like an 8-hour stream and I just sat there like a potato playing Final Fantasy 14, and then I get off and I take the headphone off and I touch my head and I feel like, because my headset has like this dent here, right?
Oh,
it
yeah.
has this dent.
Oh my God.
I feel the dent. I feel it on my
But
head.
how are you getting more bold from wearing a headset?
But like I said, it's not actually destroying the hair, but it inflames it, like, because it's something pressing on your head constantly, it swells up and it pushes. This is my theory anyway. It kind of swells up so that you can't feel the hair.
Dude.
It's like it like overtakes the hair.
I've got a huge dent in my head.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, you think of your head as just the skull plus a little bit of skin, but it has got some bit of flesh on top of the skull.
Yeah, it's like a dent now.
Flesh.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of flesh on top. It's not purely just bone, is it? You can pinch a little bit of your your skin, and it's not just pure skin. There's some tissue underneath that.
What, you have a
and the
fat
tissue
head?
contains some water. Yeah, I've got a bit of a fat head. Contains a bit of
I-
water.
No,
That's
I'm
all I-
bald.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, nice. Just mock the bald.
Well, I do.
No, Johnny,
I-
you can be bold if you put your hair behind your headset.
Yo,
like
if
me.
Johnny, if Johnny does that, I'm actually interested if you go bald, Johnny, how that's gonna go.
Oh, Johnny's got too nice of a hairline. He
God,
couldn't go
dude,
bald.
you Swedish people.
I got
just
the fuck.
it
I got
in
the
spades.
Vegeta hairline going on. I woke up in a cold sweat.
None.
I woke up in a cold sweat thinking that my hairline's moved back, and I think it has. But look at this.
Probably, bro. 2020's been a shitty year. So
there a
Yeah,
cause?
actually though.
Is there a cause?
Huh?
Can you like Google like why your hairline
I
recedes?
mean, stress.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
suppose would be one. There's been a lot of that this year, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Look at my Vegeta looking ass. Look at
Yeah.
this.
I actually really like when I shave the sides, like to the bottom. Like I used a one, just like straight off shaved. And it
Yeah.
was so weird, like lying down on like a pillow because you
Yeah,
feel the
but it's
skin
nice,
touch.
though.
Yeah, it was sick. I mean, I loved the haircut, but everyone else hated it. So you know,
Josh, here's a question for you as a recent bald man.
Yeah.
Do you find showering more enjoyable? Does it feel nice to have the
No,
hair on
it
your
doesn't
bald
feel
head?
more enjoyable. No, it feels worse in my opinion. Yeah, because previous I don't know about you, but I feel like having the difference between so when you have dry hair and then it gets wet, there's a difference in terms of the weight, the way that the water trickles, it like directs the water a certain way down your head as well.
Okay.
And it's a very it's part of the showering process. But now that doesn't happen, it's just like getting water poured on my big dumb bald head. Like there's no cleaning, there's no feel to the cleaning process. You know what I mean? The water goes
No.
on and it falls off. Whereas when you have hair, the water goes on, it absorbs, it changes the way that you feel.
Yeah.
It changes the way that your body feels.
I actually don't know.
Because it's heavier. Your head gets heavier when there's water in your hair.
Mhm.
Oh,
And it like moves in different ways. So and you like froth your shampoo into your hair and everything. Now it's
do
just
you use shampoo now?
no. Apparently, I'm still supposed to, but I didn't know that, so I've just been using body wash.
Has your hair grown out like a little bit? Like,
I've
if
been
you
shaving it
can
every
you
week.
feel hair if you like?
I've been shaving it again every week.
Oh,
So you've been committing.
Oh yeah, I've been committing. What, you think my hair just grows at like a imperceptible rate? It's been 3 weeks.
I've never shaved.
You
my
look
head.
like a lankier
3 weeks. It's
version
been
of
3
Vin
weeks.
Diesel.
I think it
Time
has,
flies.
hasn't it? Has it been 2 weeks?
Quarantine
3
has
weeks?
messed up. Like my like I leveled that WoW character to 60, and I was like, wait, that was fast. You know, I'm still in quarantine. I'm still just still. What happened? You know, time just flies. It's weird.
Josh, I think that if you were to star in like a Fast and Furious spin-off movie, it would be like Slow and Stubborn, starring you. You just
Right.
that's your look, You're now, in my mind, you're a scrawny Vin Diesel. That's it.
No.
That's who you are. Yeah. So
Right.
there you go. That's
Thanks.
I believe
That's
it.
a
You have an
compliment.
opportunity.
I want to
Yeah.
see.
Vin Diesel is kind of nerdy though, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he plays
he's
WoW,
like
right? D&D.
I think so. So I've heard, but like it could also be one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I played D&D. Yeah, I played it one time with you guys. I'm not wrong,
Right.
But
But
tell
I don't
people I played
gatekeep,
D&D.
Alex. You're a D&D nerd now. Okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking for more opportunities to scratch this itch that I got. For
that's
D&D.
sorry to change the subject 20 times in 5 minutes, but that annoys me about D&D is gatekeeping. I haven't encountered much of it, but there's some people that gatekeep in D&D. It's like the people who play D&D got gate kept out of sports and being popular in school, so they feel like they have to do it against other people trying to play D&D.
I am a bit of a gatekeeper actually when it comes to stereotypes in that way. I like to I played WoW now for like.
So you're a gatekeeper on
15.
gatekeepers?
I don't know how the English language works. So like I played WoW now for 15 years. So I have stereotypes for every race and gender because I know.
Oh, so you have racial stereotypes in the game?
So I know that most male
I like how he just ignores
gnomes.
that.
I love how most male gnomes, like the gnomes, usually fuck up in some kind of way. Like they are going to ninja pool, and you just kind of know it.
What's your problem with ninjas, dog? What's your problem with gnomes, dog?
You don't even know what ninja means in this term.
Gnomes are
Ninja
going
is
to ninja pull.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
don't know what that means.
It
What are you
means-
talking about?
Well, like when you're doing a difficult dungeon, or like when you're doing a 5-man dungeon, or even like a 20-man dungeon, or a 40-man dungeon. You know, like there's a lot of
I
organization
know what
that
that
goes
even
into there.
means.
Like, you know what a dungeon is?
They're
You
called
play
dungeons,
D&D,
Josh.
Like you go to like the freaking cave. You know,
fight.
we're all like an area where the most difficult monsters are,
Okay.
and you go on like a quest to finish the
a
cave,
dungeon.
the adventure, a
Right.
dungeon.
You should know
I
that.
said dungeon like 15 times.
No, you're fine. Josh should know that. You play
Now,
D&D.
my point
An
was, I don't know
instance.
what is the when you say 20-man, 40-man, 10-man dungeon, do
There
you
are
mean the amount
different
of people you
challenges.
need
There-
or the
yeah.
amount of people that are in it?
Well, you know, harder dungeons require more people. So there are 5-man dungeons, which are
Right.
relatively the easiest dungeons. And then there are raids where you have to bring more people. So usually among 20 to 25 people, you gather for a raid to be able to complete this harder dungeon. Because you need more people, right? That's how math works.
Mhm.
Yeah? If the monsters are harder,
You need more people.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, you need like more people,
So-
so it's more likely someone's gonna fuck up. And
Bro, that would
Yeah.
suck
Pull
to
the
be
ball.
a
Essentially-
tank for a dungeon like that, though. God,
yes,
that would blow.
Yes. So essentially, what ninja pulling is when someone who is not the
Oh,
tank,
Okay.
someone
Yeah,
who
I
is
know what you mean
not
now.
the tank, like a mage, just runs into the hard pack of monsters
And pulls aggro.
and pulls
Yeah, yeah,
aggro before the tank. And usually, the no mages, those bastards, always find a way to accidentally blink and teleport into the pack of mobs and just ruin the entire
And then they
thing.
die, and then they're like, "Why did you let them kill me?" And you're
Yeah.
like, "Because I'm not a magician. You are technically, and also there's no way I can actually take that many mobs off of you at the same time." I
Yeah.
totally get that.
So I
Yeah.
found these stereotypes with the World of Warcraft races, and for some reason, the most elitist, best gamers in WoW are human females. Like they're just badass. Like they just own. Like when you have a human female in your group, like they just own. They know every strategy. They're usually pretty quiet, and they just defeat
Human
all the monsters.
female?
Yeah, they're just incredible at the game.
that's actually true. I feel that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best gamers are human females. It's just facts.
That actually sounds
That's
like
awesome.
the definition taken out of context. That is the most
That's what-
like nerdy thing you could ever say in your life. It's like
The
the
best
classic-
gamers are human females.
Yeah, the classic most nerd like neckbeard phrase I've ever heard uttered is the best gamers are human females. Like, oh my god.
And if someone watches or listens and takes that completely out of context, they're like, what are they saying? Like, why? They're just women, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you labeling them human females? That doesn't make sense. They're just women. Just call them women. But like without understanding that you're talking about World of Warcraft, that thing goes flying right over your head. My
Yeah.
God.
I
my
Let's not
God.
talk about right now.
I found
Male blood
Vin
elves
Diesel.
are so sorry to interrupt, Josh, but they are actually the worst.
Well,
Without
I have
fail.
a male blood elf. How dare
They're
you?
actually the worst though. Like in terms of just anyway, Josh, say what you're gonna
Thoughts
say.
on dwarves, though. Thoughts on dwarves. We cool?
Female dwarves, sick. Male dwarves,
Little trolly.
slightly better than gnomes, but not
Okay,
by
because I'll
much.
tell you this much: I have a male dwarf, and I am super trolly.
Yeah,
So
a bit dumb.
Dwarf Ranger.
generally.
Do you play World of Warcraft, GB?
I have, this is my brief World of Warcraft story. Okay, so as you guys know, I didn't have computers. I didn't have a computer for a very long time, not until I was like in my 20s. So I was always interested in World of Warcraft because I saw the commercial with Mr. T. And he was like,
Oh,
I play Night Elf Mohawk, you know, and I thought that shit was so funny. So one day, and then I also saw the commercial with William Shatner, and I'm a massive Star Trek fan. So, you know, anyway, so I saw the trailer for it because I went on this small independent website called youtube.com at the time that used to show anime videos. And I went there and I found the trailer, single-handed typing because I didn't own a keyboard, for World of Warcraft, and I loved it. I wanted to get the game, and then I found out it was on PC only. My rage obviously was like, that makes no sense. Who the fuck plays video games on PC? This is so stupid. Just put it on console, right? So I ended up not playing it. But when I saw the trailer, the thing that always stood out to me was the dwarf with the bear. I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing in the original World of
Yep.
Warcraft trailer.
Yep.
The dwarf with
So
the
many
bear
people
in
think
the
that.
icy mountains.
So many
I
people think that.
loved it.
My first was a
And
dwarf hunter.
that's
for
why
that
I
reason.
played him. Yeah, I played dwarf hunter
And-
for
and
that
I was-
reason.
I
was
played
10 years
Dwarf
old.
Paladin.
And I named it Gamli. I was 10 years old and I named my
That's
dwarf
the
hunter
classic.
Gamli.
That's the WoW classic. Because Lord of the Rings was almost at the height of its popularity
Yep.
around then, and everyone named their fucking Lord of the Rings characters weird amalgamations of Lord of the Rings names from characters. Like the
Oh,
amount of
dude, all
fucking
the time.
the amount of night elf hunters or even blood elf hunters as well, because around TBC that named themselves Lugugulas were just unbelievable.
Dude, all the time. It was the same way when I played Final Fantasy 11. We had multiple elven people running around calling themselves various versions of Legolas. Somehow, some way, they all found a way to make Legolas fit in a variety of different characters. Like if let's say like the A didn't work, you put a Y because why not? You right? Like Legolas with a Y, that works, right? Legolas maybe with two S's at the end, just so that you can get a little bit of that variation. Yeah, one more side note, Final Fantasy 11, I played a human, or they call them Humes, I think, in that game. Humes. And Johnny, is there construction outside of your home right
Yeah,
now?
but I got a noise gate on, so it's not in the podcast. Don't worry. But I'm gonna turn my
It is
AC.
100% in a podcast.
No, because I got a noise gate on, and it's not registering. So I think it's
Go.
fine when I don't.
Just-
I'm gonna turn my
just go
AC
and
on because I
help
have
them.
AC and construction going on at the same time. People wonder why the frick we have forehead sound problems. Well, it's not my fault. They probably heard me. I'm sorry.
So, I made a human character in the game, and then I played a samurai role, and my character's name was Aldrin. I didn't know that at the time, the movie The Last Samurai, the guy's name was Algren. So everyone's like, "Oh, you're playing as a human samurai because of The Last Samurai?" And I was like, "No, I just named him Aldrin because my name's Alex." And I was like, that was like the best name I could think of, with combining Alex and Andrew, and I don't want to name myself Aldrew because that sounded fucking dumb. So I named myself Aldrin. Yeah, I
Aldrin.
just named myself
Aldrin is a
Aldrin. I
dope
just
name.
combined it, and that was I've used that name, and I've used like Oren in like a variety of different ways for many years. That's always been like my tell. That's my tell. God,
Can I
love
talk
it
about
most.
prosthetic limbs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a second.
You've been talking about prosthetic limbs for months, it seems, at this point. We had a discussion on a
What do you mean
companion
months?
stream that was like a month ago. You were talking about prosthetic limbs.
Was I?
Talking about
It's
yeah,
fascinating technology, though.
maybe this is what actually kicked it off then, if you don't remember it, because about a month ago we were on stream and you were asking, you were
No, it's probably. I was probably talking about my university and how
yes, your
I-
university.
I got
yeah.
I got a place at the university, providing I got the grades, which, spoiler alert, I didn't. Was to go to university studying computer science, and part of that was I wrote an essay on how I wanted to use infrared technology which has like at the time they were using infrared to kind of look at, I think it was pregnant women as a alternative to ultrasound. I don't know how it was working, but yeah. And the infrared radiation would be the technology somehow managed to lower down the latency, essentially the gap between an action and a reaction from the machine. So I was like, well, why don't I just apply this to prosthetic limbs? And I was like saying like I would like to work if eventually I would like to work on this kind of software because it could really change lives, the ability that somebody, if they lost their limb, they could slap on a robot arm and put on the electronics that measures the muscle movements, and suddenly they're just using it like a normal arm with very little delay. That would be pretty sick. That was where it came from. But recently, on stream, I searched up prosthetic limbs again because, do you remember I got bit by the mosquito on my arm and it started swelling up? Well,
Oh God.
my chat started scaring me into thinking I was going to lose my arm because I looked it up on WebMD and it said that if you have an allergic reaction to mosquitoes, the worst case scenario is you lose that body part. And so I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm going to lose
Great
my arm because it was
self-diagnosis.
bad. Like my entire forearm was swollen. Like my entire forearm. Like that's a bad reaction to something. So I was like scared, and I was like, well, I don't want to go to the hospital because I'm scared.
Yep.
So I started looking at prosthetic limbs, and I felt a little bit better because the advances they're making with prosthetic limbs are fucking amazing. And it goes further than that as well, because they're getting into the point where they are essentially implanting chips into the brain that reads brain signals and can apply that to a limb for somebody who didn't lose their limbs later in their life. They were born with no limbs. So they already don't have the muscle really built up, but they can think the action. They can think using their brains. I want to lift this up, and their mechanical arm will lift it up. Like, how insane is that? Like, I gotta find a video for you because it's nuts. Another thing they're doing with these implants as well
Wow.
is a guy with Parkinson's got it implanted into his brain, and it reduced the symptoms of Parkinson's by about 70%. No shakes from a guy with Parkinson's, with severe Parkinson's. It is amazing what they're doing these days. I gotta find this. I gotta find this shit. Give me a sec.
I just
It's
really
actually
appreciate
a
how
really wild thought that the brain, Johnny, you're muted, by the way.
I was
That the brain can. The brain's a supercomputer, right? Like it's able to do some really outstanding things, but we're also like incredibly dumb too. It's really impressive
I
how
am
we
so
could
dumb.
be so smart
Yeah.
yet so dumb.
So
What are you
I
gonna
don't
say,
know if we're
Johnny?
gonna get. Sorry, I don't know if we're gonna get DMCA'd for this, but I'm gonna link the video.
It's in the doc.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
need
it's
to
underneath.
establish
By the
some
way,
kind of
apparently that's
rules.
become a branding thing. That's a branding thing now that we have. Put it in the doc. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Oh,
We
really?
got
Yeah, I
linked
saw
someone
that.
because when they announced the Pokemon MMO or Pokemon MOBA, which we'll get into later, some guy was like, "You guys literally talked about a Pokemon auto battler. Put it in the doc." And I was like, "You best believe this is going in the doc, bro. I'm gonna find it.
We're gonna
and
put
tweet
it on a
out of it."
T-shirt.
This is Vice, and they're verified, so I don't know if I.
Yeah, you can just show it.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
But,
executive
money off of this
decision
thing.
making I need as the producer
So-
of this show.
So one of the
Give me a
things they're doing
timestamp.
is a
Give me a
guy who is
timestamp.
paralyzed. So around 3 minutes in, it's a guy who's paralyzed from the legs down. You don't have to play with audio. I'll just briefly explain it. Paralyzed from the legs down with an implant into his spine that triggers the muscle movements. So he's able to cycle, and he competes in these
Oh
competitions.
my god.
That's fucking insane, right? This next thing is going to be even more insane.
Are there like rules on like Olympic or competition guidelines?
Well, it's not like it's just like it's a showcase of the latest developments to help people with disabilities.
Yeah, but imagine if it's like a Tesla, right? So it's a chip, like, and they can just like push like software upgrades to the chip in your
Yeah.
brain or some shit. That
I
would
think-
be mad.
Well, they barred somebody with okay, so there was a guy that competed in the Paralympics with two prosthetic legs. I can't remember the
That
name
were
of the
more
guy.
efficient than legs.
Well,
Basically.
that was the argument. They barred him from competing in the actual Olympics, even though the times that he was putting up were incredible, because they said that it wouldn't be fair, even though that he doesn't have legs. They were saying it's not fair to put him in the same race because he might have advantages from the like limbs
Dude,
themselves.
it's gonna
And
happen.
that wasn't powered limbs. That's like these springy
It's like
things.
just using physics essentially.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's really well designed legs that are able to distribute the
Dude, it's gonna happen, man.
motion.
What do you think's gonna happen in
was
esports
that-
when you get that
was that
first kid with
dude that
a
fucking
mechanical
murdered
arm?
his girlfriend? Actually, was that Oscar Pistorius?
Oh, what is that
God.
transition?
Dude, it may have been actually. Yeah,
I think
Oscar
it was,
Pistorius
actually,
murdered his
yeah.
girlfriend.
Yes, it was.
Really?
dear.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
It was.
Dark
Yeah, it
very
was.
quickly. But I was saying, like, what would dude?
Yeah,
That's gonna be
Beth's just
crazy.
put
That
a-
like
Put a
in
header on the window and
esports,
gone. Yeah,
if we get a guy with a prosthetic arm and actually could have better aim than like Simple or some shit like that.
Well,
How
well,
crazy
well,
would
that's
that
the
be?
thing, right? It's like if you have a chip in your brain, would you eventually be able to? Would we, through science, be able to exceed human reaction times, like the delay where it sends a signal from your brain to your arm and then from your arm back to your brain? You know, like
So the closest comparison I think we have to real life now is like steroid usage in like bodybuilding, because I mean they're obviously just like exceeding what
Well, they
should
have
be
two-
humanly capable. They have two divisions. Yeah, you're right. One
Yeah.
with, one for like go fucking ham, and one for there's very like strict restrictions on what you can use and etc. I mean, I guess there will be 2 divisions as well for future Olympics. I mean, there already are for like people with like prosthetics and stuff, you know. But I think humans are naturally just curious, like what the best biological, you know, normal human would perform like, and what someone with prosthetics and like chips or, you know,
Dude, they're
stuff like that,
doping
how
up
they would
anyway
perform.
in the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Don't
Yeah,
they test
I mean,
that,
did you
though?
see that documentary
Well,
about
they
Russia?
Yes, yeah, I watched all of it, and
Icarus? I think it's called Icarus. I'm
it
not sure.
fired up the conspiracy theory part of my brain that just went ham on it, because I was saying, if Russia has been doing this and they haven't been caught, right, because they have these systems in place, and there's so much corruption in the Olympics that they won't even try and essentially remove Russia strongly because of the Olympics getting involved with political issues and the ties to that. So they're like, it's a political issue, so we can't remove Russia. But anyway, watch the documentary, really good. Is it called Icarus?
I think it's called Icarus, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
You know what? You're
I've become
talking
incredibly
about
cynical.
conspiracy. I
Anyway.
have actually started. This is going to sound a little crazy.
The conspiracy
And I
theory?
don't know. Yeah, this is a little bit of a
Oh
conspiracy
shit!
theory.
Sorry, I'm
And
getting a grocery delivery.
go for it. Go
I
for it. And I don't know how much you guys know about this, but in New York, and it's happening like all over the place apparently, but I know it, like I've seen so many people talk about it, friends of mine who live here. There have been fireworks going off every freaking night
Yes.
for the last like 3-4 weeks, ever since the protests started. There have been fireworks going up every night, and it is really, really freaky because this, like, you know, you can attest it to like 4th of July, right? But this is an abnormal amount of fireworks, and they're going off at random places. Now, what's weird is that the other day I went to go see my dad. I walked downstairs. He came over to see me for Father's Day, and then there were some people hanging out on the street, and then they happened to blow up a firecracker, right? Which I was like, okay, I mean, that's like stupid and stuff and annoying, but whatever, not a big deal. But we're talking like widespread fireworks just bursting all over the place. And I watched this video from this individual, and I have to try and see if I can find it. But she basically said that this is a tactic that has been used actually to exhaust the public for a while, like to exhaust people, to just keep them constantly awake, because these fireworks will legit go from like 8 p.m. to around like 3 to 4 a.m. at night sometimes.
This is what I said on the podcast like a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
I literally said it was a conspiracy theory about the fireworks to keep people unsafe and emotionally invested.
I thought you were freaking crazy, bro. But as it's been happening more and more, I think you might be onto something.
Josh, has it happened for you?
Yes, but I don't think it's some wild conspiracy. I think
you optimistic piece of shit.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's just like, all right. Explain the theory, and then I'm gonna
find this video. I'm gonna find this video.
People are concerned because there are riots and unsettling stuff going on. A lot of stuff making people feel uncomfortable, and the use of fireworks makes people stay alert and get emotionally exhausted over time. Because, you know, if there's a firework going off,
who are you saying is using the fireworks then? The police,
the cops, the police.
That is to be determined.
People across the road from me were firing fireworks off, and they're definitely not police.
Yeah, I'm not saying everyone is. I'm just saying that there are some people that you're like, oh, I found a video. Good thing I linked it with my boys.
You know,
I'm putting
Josh,
the dot.
For the sake of me winning this argument, I'm going to keep the goalposts very wide.
Okay.
So, you know, the larger the goalposts, the more chance I have to be right. So I'm going to keep them very wide, not talk about specifics, and dodge every attempt to try to prove me wrong. So
I put the video in the doc. It does seem like a weird conspiracy theory, and you guys should probably seek it out. It's from a person named groovybaby_Anna that they post. I don't think it's their video, but they shared the video. It's from TikTok. Yeah. So
what's a conspiracy theory?
The fireworks. I think that the fireworks is something that's actually happening because the police are trying to create an environment that is mentally
you're talking about
and exhausting.
You're talking about the sounds, the explosion sounds.
No, the explosions, but the fireworks.
The
So-
psych,
See,
the
Bren goes a step
conspiracy
further
theory.
and believes that it's not even fireworks. He believes it's speakers broadcasting explosion.
No. I've researched into this, and I think it's bullshit. Because a couple of TikToks have been spreading misinformation around the time of the Black Lives Matter movement. There's like a bunch of far right leaning groups online that are basically spreading misinformation with zombie bot networks, and Twitter's been having to remove a bunch of them. This was one of them. Was the explosions? Like there were explosions. It was in Philadelphia, but it was ATMs. And then the morning after on the news, I was scouring through Philadelphia's news articles, and there's a bunch of reports of ATMs being blown up.
Well, this
Yeah,
one in particular is actually highlighting the fireworks. This video that I linked that's in the doc, and then there's also another instance where if you actually fast forward to the video to 46 seconds in the video, you don't have to put the audio on, but you'll actually see that police officers are just randomly in the middle of a street, just patrolling with their sirens on at 3 a.m. That they're just doing this.
Yeah,
Like
I would be careful with TikTok, just on the
maybe.
basis that
Yeah.
there's okay. So
This
here's
is
my thought
first
process with
conspiracy
TikTok,
theory that
right?
I have
Okay.
latched on to because
So-
it's fucking weird.
Some people say that TikTok is because it's owned by a Chinese company, they've directly been involved in censorship against a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And also nobody really knows how the TikTok algorithm works. And if they are if okay, there's conspiracy theories out there that it would be within TikTok's best interest because they are because the Chinese government has some sort of jurisdiction over them. It would be in their best interest to kind of spread misinformation about the Black Lives Matter movement that makes the American government look bad.
But
And
this isn't about
also-
Black
I saw a
Lives Matter
Reddit thread
movement. This is
about
literally
this.
about just these fireworks.
And
That's all it
also,
is.
and
Well, no,
also,
it's also definitely tied in though, Alex. It's tied into the police thing. I mean, the video that you
Fair,
linked
fair.
is someone alleging that the police are using fireworks directly as a psyops warfare against the population. I mean, that's definitely tied into the BLM.
But like,
I'm
why,
gonna link
why do we
something.
keep it? Why do we keep having these fireworks? Listen,
So
this shit's
I'm
literally
gonna-
right outside of my home.
Yeah,
It
I know.
happens
And
when I stream.
it happens all over the place here as well. But I'm gonna try and give you some like reasonable explanation because I
Go for
was
it.
thinking about this previously as well. Right, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are inside, and a lot of people are really bored, and they have also had a shit ton of cancelled July the 4th celebrations, which is where the majority of fireworks sales would actually go in the first place. And instead of those being used there, fireworks sales for individuals like commercial fireworks sales have gone up massively by bored people sat at home who have nothing better to do with all of these fireworks at cheap prices because July the 4th celebrations were cancelled or called off
Mhm.
because people can't gather together properly.
It's crazy.
So there's a lot of people more inside, there's a lot of people more bored, and there's a lot of fireworks available. I feel like that's just a very simple answer. I mean, I see drunk people, they're literally across the road from me, drunk guys firing fireworks off, I would say like once a week. And then the first time when they did it, just bang, bang, bang all over the place. No one's calling the cops on them because everyone fucking hates the cops right now. So even if you dislike your neighbors firing fireworks, most people aren't going to ring up the police and complain about them because fuck the cops, they're killing people out there. And so you've got like a system where people are just bored and shooting fireworks all over the place. Like Beth was sat on the balcony and got one shot at her. She was just
Oh my
chilling
God.
out on the balcony, and someone apparently like someone in our apartment block shouted "Go to sleep" or something. I don't know what they were shouting at the guys that were firing fireworks, and the guy like angled the firework and shot it, and it fucking bounced off our apartment window.
Jesus.
Holy crap!
They're
Christ,
just
almighty.
drunk people doing dumb shit with illegal fireworks. I don't
There
think
has
there's
to
any
be something
psyop
to
it.
warfare.
There's a wider conspiracy about why they're doing it. It's not
Okay,
just about alcohol.
here's what I think. No, I'm not disputing it. Whatever. I never latch on to any conspiracy theories, but this shit's been going on for so long
It
that
has, yeah.
it just feels fucking weird. That's it. That's all it is. It just
Dude,
feels weird. Like
you wanna talk
I've
about
lived
Pokemon
I've
instead?
lived here for so long and I've never had that happen before. But it is interesting though that you talk about the Chinese government as well as TikTok, because apparently today it was announced that there's a new Pokemon MOBA that is going to be coming out. That is being made by Timmy and Tencent alongside
Timmy?
with Pokemon.
It's
Company.
little Timmy?
Little Timmy?
Little Timmy?
Timi or Timmy, I don't know, or Timey, I don't know how they pronounce it. I thought it was Timmy.
I don't know who that is.
But they actually make Arena of Valor. So they made Arena of Valor and they're making this new game. This was by far like the funniest thing from an outsider's perspective. So I'm a Pokemon fan, as I've made it apparent to you guys in the past. I play Pokemon games. My boys play Pokemon Go. Like I've always been into it ever since I was a kid, and that has never changed. I've always wanted something different in the genre. I always said like a Pokemon MMO, and that's why I think Temtem's quite interesting, but it's not Pokemon, so I'm not quite interested in it. Or we talked about the Pokemon Auto Battler because we said that's literally a perfect genre, a perfect IP for the Auto Battler genre. But they decided to make this MOBA. Now, what happened was this. Nintendo, or the Pokemon Company, announced that they also had more news. It was more news that they didn't want attached to their previous direct, where they revealed that they're releasing Pokemon Snap, a new version of Pokemon Snap, which was a very popular game on the N64. They felt like this news could not be contained to just one show, so they split it up. So the community, as gaming communities do, just went wild with theories as to what this event was going to be. A lot of people were hoping that it was something tied to the Johto region, right? Gen 4 stuff and some other areas. Like, again, I'm a Pokemon fan, but I didn't play every freaking single Pokemon game. I just played the ones that I liked, and then I skipped generations, if that makes sense, because like I didn't have a 3DS. So because of that, they revealed this MOBA, and I was watching it and I was like, yo, this shit's tight. Turn up, dude. A MOBA. I fucks with this, right? Go online, pure hatred and agony from the Pokemon crowd. Oh my goodness. I like just the sheer amount of frustration, because everyone felt like they were deceived, but they weren't, because at no point in time did the Pokemon Company ever say that they're doing any like a remake or anything like that. So now, because people have seemed so irrational with their response to a Pokemon MOBA, which we could talk about the game, it actually looks pretty dope. Now they're directing their attention to Tencent, and now their problem is with Tencent. And I find it ironic that they're arguing about Tencent on Reddit, which is, partly owned by Tencent. So anyway, that's the news regarding Pokemon MOBA. Are you guys going to play it? It's on Switch and phones. Do you guys have an interest in playing it?
Yeah,
I would
think so.
I would dabble.
Yeah.
You would dabble?
I think, yeah, I would dabble in it.
Yeah, I mean,
actually kinda
Pokemon
interesting. It's
universe is
cross-plat
pretty
too.
fun. Oh,
Yeah.
well, someone's gonna have an advantage, but
No,
yeah,
it's
I mean-
cross-plat Switch and phone, not
Oh.
PC.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's really gonna have an advantage.
I think the Pokemon universe is always sort of like fun and innocent in that regard, that it always helps you like unplug a little bit. I think it's such a it's really like Pokemon video games to me are like the essence of video games. It's like an escape from reality in a like cool universe. They're usually very like fun games, not a lot of hardcore dynamics to them. I think this is gonna be a fun little escape. We can play some video games with each other, have a good time.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair enough.
hopefully it doesn't develop the same MOBA community as some others, but it's Pokemon. It's good times.
It's what I found interesting was that the Pokemon MOBA has separate leveling per character, whereas Here's the Storm is always the same still. Like the Pokemon MOBA might be a more hardcore version of the MOBA genre than Heroes of the Storm.
I mean,
As of right now, the video on the official Pokemon YouTube channel has 16,000 likes and 51,000 dislikes. People obviously are very frustrated about
Why
this.
are they angry at it?
Well,
Seemed like most people were originally angry because Pokemon said, "Oh, big announcement," and people hyped themselves up thinking it was a Gen 4 remake, or like Pokemon Go, like a new area or new like.
My
region.
God, Pokemon fans are so dumb.
Yeah, and so they've lost it but also I don't know whether Pokemon have really like realized who their audience are. I don't think their audience are these people who like MOBAs.
Is there any data
Trying to fix
on
your mic.
how? What?
Oh,
Your
you're
mic is
crackling
crackling
again.
again.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll end with this question before I fix it. Is there any data on how good the recent Pokemon game got? They released a new one.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
talk anecdotally. I thought it was pretty good.
I can speak
Sword
to it.
and
So-
Shield,
No,
you
no.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because they need to make sure they grow their fan base and still stay in touch with the community. Like, was that game a success or a failure? Okay, I'm gonna fix my mic.
I would say, by all accounts, Pokemon Sword and Shield is a huge success for Nintendo, and a huge success for the Pokemon Company. I think that what ended up happening was that the game came out, and there were a lot of aspects of the game. Like, people were angry about the game before it came out because they found out that they weren't including every single Pokemon in the game.
Oh yeah,
was
they
really
didn't
like-
include the 151 or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, it was like a select amount. There was still a lot. There was still a fuck ton of Pokemon.
And no
but
Pokédex,
it's
right?
like, yeah, it's like it wasn't the national Pokedex or like the
Oh.
one that is like that contains everything. So they're releasing Pokemon in the game as they go along, but it is not like 100% filled up, right? So that was a part that the community was really angry about. Also, there's always this argument about the trees in the neutral regions in the game. Like, people really hate the way the trees look. They feel like Game Freak was like really lazy with the development of the game.
With the
and-
trees.
The
Yeah.
trees.
Like, people were. There's a whole thing. Like, honestly, if you go on that Reddit and you look trees, you'll find a million comments
Wait.
about people just being angry about trees and how they look in the game.
But Pokemon fans are the most entitled sons of bitches I've ever seen in my life. Honestly,
Be careful.
People
really
are
are.
comparing how trees look like in Pokemon and Sword and Shield and Ocarina of Time.
I'm looking over some of the comments and they're like, "Wow, I can't believe we had to wait a week for this." Like, a week? A week? You think this wasn't worth 7 days? How can you
Like-
be mad about having to wait 7 days?
And this is the problem I have with it. I mean, we're all kind of preaching the same thing here, but just the issue that I have with this whole thing is that it's just a different way to play the game and like and to connect people with Pokemon. I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. But now it is changed to you support Tencent. So that's the reason why,
I mean,
and then
That's a fair enough criticism, though, right? Like,
Fair.
Tencent's a company that a lot of people have their concerns about. I just don't think that's really the reason that people are mad.
Oh, no, I don't think that's the reason they're mad either. I think what's happened is that they were mad that they didn't get what they wanted. And then everyone started to rag on them for being entitled, just as you did. So now the narrative has shifted from, okay, Pokemon MOBA bad to no. We're fine. It's Tencent. It's not the Pokemon MOBA. It's Tencent. And it's like, you can have a problem with Tencent. It's they're like, whatever, right? I totally get it. It's perfectly fine. But I just find it that the narrative has shifted, and then you're just seeing all these people now just starting to come through and point fingers all over the place. And apparently, if you like the game, you're a supporter of Tencent now. Which, I mean, I guess you can't like video games anymore. Like, I don't know. There's just too much, and I know people are going to be really
just too
agitated with
upset.
it, but.
They're just
Yeah.
too upset these days. It's
I mean, about
time.
all the wrong things as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
If it's Pokemon that's making you angry in 2020, then your priorities.
I've
are
actually
really
noticed.
wrong.
I've been so angry the past 2 weeks. It's so
What to
uncharacteristic.
be angry
I've
about?
just irrational. No,
Yeah.
I've just irrationally been angry, like in
Well, it
conversations.
just bleeds
and-
into.
Yeah.
I think just it bleeds into everyday life, you know.
But I'm self-aware about it. But I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
angry way more, and I don't know how to fix it. And it's just,
Yeah,
I
I've
think
been wanting to
quarantine-
really beat the shit out of something recently. Like I've just had the feeling like my God, I wish I don't know, just had a punching bag to just beat the shit out
Pillows
of.
are great.
Mm.
I punched a lot of pillows after losing Overwatch
I
games.
fantasized last night of beating the shit out of someone in
careful.
a duel. I don't know, not an individual.
Duel?
Just an anonymous
you
figure
s-
in my dreams.
Like you slap them with a glove and have
No.
a
It was
boxing match with them.
like a martial arts ring. But it was like an MMA ring, but it was circular. It was very primal
Do you guys
dream.
want to start
It was-
Fight Club?
No.
Yeah,
Well, we can't
I
talk
mean,
about it. So
This would be the if someone told me that there was a fight club that existed, if there was like a new, it was like, yeah, this has existed for the past 3 months across the US, but it's been a secret, no one's heard of it.
Well, you're
I
not
wouldn't be
supposed to talk
surprised.
about it.
Yeah,
well, I
yeah,
wouldn't
but
go because of COVID-19. But
if it got leaked though, I wouldn't
That's
be
just me.
surprised.
if it,
You know?
Leaked. Investigation. Fight Club is
speaking
real.
of leak, did you see that apparently like someone found the Loch Ness monster, or like there was something about the Loch Ness monster, and I'm just like, dude, no. Whether it's true or not, obviously it's not true. Could it be? I don't know, but
Alex,
it's not
Alex,
true.
What are you
Alex.
talking about?
Hold on. I just want to say though, that if it came out that somehow, some way, the Loch Ness monster was real this year, because we also confirmed that fucking UFOs exist.
No, wait, no, we didn't. No,
Yes, we did. The government said it.
As in, literally, they did not know what it was. Not there were
Exactly.
aliens.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. How could you not know what it is? You're the most powerful, or one of the most powerful government in the world. How could you not know what that is, dog?
They don't know a lot of things. I don't know if
I
you've
mean,
ever rung up the government to
you
try
mean
and
to
get them
tell
to
me-
do something. They
okay.
don't know shit.
You mean to tell me right here, right now, Josh? Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes right now. You look at me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes.
I'm looking
You're
at
gonna
you
tell
right
me
in
that
the
there are no
eyeballs.
aliens out there whatsoever? You're gonna tell me that you think that on this small rock in the middle of this massive galaxy, that we are the only beings with sentient life and intelligence and shit.
I think that it is actually quite likely that we are the only intelligent life forms that are close enough to communicate with us. Like, the space is so enormously vast, there probably is intelligent life. Are they close enough to ever be able to get in touch with us without some insane
Okay, so what you're
development?
saying is you think that there is intelligent life out there, but is there intelligent life in an area to be able to get in touch with us?
Or to be able to fly towards us in UFOs? Yeah, ain't happening.
Really interesting.
I think we live in a
Maybe I am
simulation.
a bit more of a conspiracy theorist than I was.
I mean, there might be life that's detectable nearby. I absolutely think that seems more and more reasonable the more that we've done exploring within our own solar system, but not intelligent life, and not intelligent life that is going to fly to our planet, because it's probably going to be out in the vast, vast expanses of the rest of space.
Okay, here's the test. And I pretty much already know Goldenboy and Bren's answer. Josh, what do you believe is inside Area 51?
I've never even done any reading into Area 51. Isn't it just some classified military base? It probably just has some classified military shit.
So a lot
I
of
don't think anything's
rumors
there.
that that's where they keep
Hide
all
the aliens.
that they hide the very
Mate, if there was
unearthly
genuinely some kind of intelligent life that could fly with a UFO to Earth, and the US military had captured it and was holding one of them hostage or something, then I mean they'd have come to collect.
I mean, there were rumors. This guy made a documentary about how we used to work there, and that they had an object that could change gravity in a field around it.
I believe that there were science experiments there, but I don't think there's anything there now, because
I think they just
probably just
experiment
figured it
with
out.
jets. They're just they're trying to create different aircraft that can't be detected. There's a reason it's secret. Like, it's super important for the military to keep secrets like that. Otherwise, you're trying to stay ahead of the other powerful states that are in the game. You know.
I believe in Area 52, not
Oh,
Area
yeah?
51. Because
Really?
why now everyone knows that this thing is there. Why would you do anything there?
Hey, Area
Right,
52 is a city in WoW.
You got all these idiots Naruto running, trying to get into this facility, right? Like trying to do some dumb shit. Why would you put your stuff there? You'd rather just, I'm sure that there's like some military stuff there, but I don't think that's where they're keeping the good shit. I don't think that's where they are. I think they're at like the place down the street, and they're like hiding it like in a bunker. Like, I think it's like some Men in Black type shit, where like you walk inside into like some kind of pawn shop, and then you pull onto a fork, and then that fork that's like latched onto the wall reveals this pristine white room upon which you enter and then get put into the alien
Dude,
butthole.
Area 52
life.
is in Netherstorm in Outland.
You know what I mean? Same difference. Okay, maybe Area 53, maybe Area 69. Who knows? It doesn't matter. The point is, there's something out there, all right? And I refuse to believe that we are the only intelligent life on Earth. But I'm going to put a pin on that because we got to move on to one more topic, a big topic that also involves maybe not so intelligent life, because apparently Mixer is shutting down. So they made a lot of mistakes. Oof.
Where do we even start?
Dude, this is one of those things where, like, if you said to me at the start of 2019 Mixer was shutting down, I would be like, yeah, I can see it.
Oh,
but if you
shit.
told me that Mixer was shutting down even though they signed Ninja and Shroud, I would be like, really? And that's kind of that's my position
Yeah.
on it.
I feel bad for the streamers on those platforms on Mixer who are not big enough. They never got the bag. They
Oh.
just streamed on the platform because of different reasons.
That was
Yeah.
so
And
sad. I was
now their
browsing
community's broken up.
I was browsing the platform after the news broke, and there were just people crying, like people in tears because the platform went down. That there was their sole purpose of income, and you know, like it happens. You know, companies shut down. They, what is it called? They, yeah, you know, people lose jobs and like that happens. But you know, it's hard to see this happen and those people suffering. You can't.
It definitely is. It's very unfortunate. I think also the way the Mixer handled this is 100% like egregious. A very, very just idiotic approach. The fact that they shut down they're shutting down the site on July 22nd. Then they partnered with Facebook. And obviously this is a deal that is something that is going to benefit Microsoft because they want to do this whole xCloud thing. And I have difficulty faulting. I know it's going to sound weird, but I have difficulty faulting like Microsoft higher ups, even folks like Phil Spencer, because who like leads Xbox and whatnot, and also this kind of fell under him because this thing's been going on. This whole Mixer Beam project has been going on, for a while now, and I get why Microsoft got him. Like, a little side note, right? Right before I found out Twitch got purchased by Amazon. I was hearing the rumors that Microsoft was going to buy the Twitch was bought by Amazon. I heard the rumors that Twitch was going to get bought by Microsoft, and that was going to be but it was a platform play. Like they wanted the tech. I don't think they necessarily wanted the community. They just wanted the tech, and then they were going to build around it or something along those lines. I don't know who it was. It could have been YouTube. I'm not too sure. But in any case, I think that what this really boils down to is just a poor mismanagement. I mean, they spent millions of dollars to get Ninja and Shroud on their platform, and like it ultimately didn't. It just was a blip in the radar, bro. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well,
also, I have to go get my Amazon food order, so talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
It's my turn to get
I
up,
think,
bitches.
I think kind of sucks.
What do we think about the Facebook's approach to this? Because apparently they offered Ninja and Shroud like twice the money, and they're loaded, and both of them just turned it down and were like, we don't want to sign extended deals.
I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But Facebook gave like a statement too, just like they're free to stream or whatever. Is there a world in where Facebook are looking to find like a niche besides Twitch, or do you think they'll be actively competing with Twitch? Because I could see Facebook as a platform might cater to more casual content or to people who typically wouldn't tune into hardcore streams. Like for example, I don't think I don't think Valorant is going to thrive on Facebook. But I mean, I could see people streaming like mobile games or some more casual games on Facebook because as a platform, it makes more sense. Yeah. Like, what do you think the approach is for Facebook here moving forward?
I mean, for starters, you got to say that Facebook have done much, much better in Mixer in terms of acquiring talent because they didn't go for huge people. They went for just throwing a fuck ton of money at a lot of medium-sized people. and so they've actually been able to port over more community and less clout, I suppose you could say. Like they haven't signed anyone like Ninja or Shroud, but they've put those millions of dollars into signing a bunch of smaller streamers as well. And the money was and is just absolutely absurd that Facebook Gaming are throwing around. And that's what Mixer, I think, needed to do. It needed to port over middle level people as well. Have you seen did you see the second tweet that I just linked to you guys as well? Slasher saying that Facebook's offering a $2,500 signing bonus
Yeah.
for
It's like a-
Mixer partners who move over to Facebook.
Yeah.
So all of those people that were in tiers that haven't, that have had their system
But
ripped out
that-
from underneath them, if they can
Does that
deal
help?
with, I mean, it helps short term. Does it help them long term? I don't
Yeah.
know. You have to figure that out. But
You got to convert your community over to a new platform when it was already hard enough to build one on the
Sure.
existing one.
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not a good situation for them to be in, but they have some financial incentive now to move over to Facebook. Like no one's going to pay those guys to go over to Twitch if they were pulling in like 50, 100 people. And Twitch only makes deals with the big names, whereas
Mhm.
Facebook
Yeah.
is making deals with medium-sized people and
Yeah.
now small people as well. They are throwing money around.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm I'm browsing the Facebook streaming page right now, and everything is so personal based on like my friends on Facebook and like who are they are following.
Where is it?
and
How do I get onto it?
Let's go to
I just Googled it.
fb.gg. fb.gg is what you want to type in. So they have
It's like if
they have a
my
lot of
friends
problems.
follow a page, like a page, like you would on Facebook, I see the
Mhm.
Yeah.
suggested game that my friends are like following. It's very
Yeah.
personal. It's pretty weird, like the integration.
Well, they have so much information to tailor that.
Yeah,
you know?
everything is just recommendations based on what I like. It's
I've got
pretty
Call of
uncomfortable.
Duty.
See, I'm in a weird place with Facebook because one of my dear friends went over there. Someone I noted in one of my tweets regarding this Darkness 429. I've known this guy for years. We've been close friends for God knows how long. And he made the switch from Twitch to Facebook a while ago. And part of the reason why is he was doing like relatively well. Like he actually was a Titanfall streamer and then got really big on Titanfall. Was like he was like a great example of a guy who grew on a category, played Titanfall, became the big name there, got into EA Game Changers because he was a Battlefield guy as well, and then transitioned over to Rainbow, was seeing a ton of success with that. And then like this opportunity came along for him to go over to Facebook Gaming. And I remember him reaching out to me about this, and I just left Twitch, I think. And I was like, dude, I don't know if you should do that. Like, how's this going to go? And he's like, I just want to be able to grow on a platform that wants to work with me. And he felt like he never was ever going to get the assistance of Twitch because he wasn't a big streamer, right?
Yeah.
So he went over, and
What was his name?
he's on Twitch was Darkness 429. Here it's Darkness 429 as well.
Okay.
And he was like one of the first transplants from Twitch over to Facebook Gaming, whereas Stone Mountain, he also did it, but he was on the YouTube side, and then he went and started streaming on Facebook Gaming as well.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
got
like
Stone
some pretty good
Mountain
examples
on my front
Yeah.
page right now. Yeah.
and they're good examples of content creators that have done really well on the platform. I know there's just like two, but then there's also another friend of mine, Pool Shark, who he used to get like 20, 30 viewers on Twitch. He went over to Facebook, grew his audience. He now goes live to like 300, 400 people. Like there's obviously like growth on the platform. Like anyone who is saying that there's like dismisses Facebook, and this is why I got so mad at people on Twitter, because everyone was like raging at me and shit. About saying like, hey, don't just say no to Facebook and immediately go to Twitch. Like if there's an opportunity for you there, don't just shut it out. Like try it out,
Yeah.
you know? Because all you had to do was just sign up, stream on the platform for 1 month. You guarantee that you're going to get $2,500 if you transitioned over. And then you can end your deal and then you're done, right?
Yeah, I can understand
Excuse
the ethical part though. Like, oh my god, there's construction store again. I can
Yeah.
understand why people have problems with Facebook too, but I mean, I don't know. There was like stuff that came out about Twitch this past week as well. It seems like it's a lot of stuff being unraveled the past week. So I mean, those streamers have a difficult decision to make, and gotta prioritize what they believe in and what they're after these coming few months. So world is all a
Yeah.
bit upside down. At the
I think the
moment.
Facebook stuff also depends on what game you're playing. And you have to be just aware of that. Like I'm looking at the Overwatch segment on Facebook right now, and as far as I can tell, just from glancing through it, the top streamer right now at kind of peak hours has 30 viewers, whereas the top for Warzone has 8,500. So
Wait,
the,
really? Are you
I mean,
sure?
I'm looking at Overwatch and I can't see anyone higher than that right now.
I have
Because
120.
it tailors the things, I think.
Yeah, it's
Not
very weird.
necessarily, because
Well,
if
I'm
you go on
looking at-
Valorant, the
I'm-
top streamer has 35 views.
I'm
right
looking
now.
at
But-
see all for Overwatch, and I only see 9 people streaming, and the top one
Oh.
has dropped from 30 to 20 views.
Yeah.
So, I mean-
My top one is 5 views.
No, it's not. It's
Interesting.
not ordered by views.
It's not
That's why
ordered
it's
by
so
views.
weird.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to go and see all.
It's
But
a-
yeah, there's basically no one is watching Overwatch. So if you're an Overwatch streamer, don't go to Facebook. If you're a Valorant streamer, don't go to Facebook. But if you play like FIFA or Call of Duty,
PUBG
Or-
Mobile has hundreds of viewers.
Dude.
yeah,
Has
yeah.
multiple streamers.
A friend of mine, Sachi, moved over to Facebook and she has been streaming Animal Crossing all the time. And she is on 780 concurrent viewers from Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
yeah.
Previously she wouldn't get that much, but that is another game. I do think it's the casual games that draw people in on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what I said earlier. It's like I think the best thing for Facebook would just be cater to that market. You know, like Twitch, you do your hardcore
Yeah.
thing with Valorant and League of Legends and like all these multiplayer games.
Yeah.
Facebook, you do the mobile games, the Animal Crossings, all of that good
Well,
stuff.
they got a big call. So they were big in Fortnite, big in Call of Duty, big in PUBG. All the battle royale games were big on Facebook at one point or another. Like Tarkov obviously doesn't really pull, but Darkness streams it. He does all right with Tarkov. He does it all the time, actually. I do agree with what you guys are saying. I just think that it's important to note that this platform, like, yes, if you have an issue with Facebook and like moral issue with them, I totally get it. And that is not something that I'm going to dispute with anyone, because if that is like just a no for you, then by all means, like, move on, figure out what you're going to do on Twitch. Maybe you figure out what you're going to do on YouTube, whatever. Right. But if you're one of those people and you're just like, I'm just trying to find a place to put my content that people are going to watch it. And if you're coming from Mixer and that's like your mentality right now, like, you 100% need to be considering Facebook as an option. It is a growing platform, whether we want to believe it or not, whether anyone wants to accept the reality. Facebook is a growing streaming platform.
The people
It is
who
gone over month over month is what I'm
the
saying.
people who put it down though is like it's the same kids who like care about the console war, you know? It's like
Yeah.
Twitch is my platform, the Twitch culture is my platform, and anything else is dumb and stupid. So it's like you just see it seep into everyday life and interactions, and that's one of them. They're like, oh, yeah, Facebook, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There is this weird just allegiance that exists. And I used to have it too, because, you know, I was closely associated with it, and still am to an extent, with like a global emote and stuff. Someone was like, are you going to leave Twitch and go to Facebook or something like that? Because you seem to be talking about Facebook. I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave Twitch and go to Facebook. I'm just telling people, be smart, make good decisions, you know, like, and they're like, well, if they came at you with the bag, would you do it? I was like, I don't know, maybe. Like, if the money was good enough, if I felt like I weigh things in a very different light than I do than I think a lot of other people do. Like, I measure it as, is this going to be a thing that actually, you know, is going to help make me more money than what I'm doing right now as a caster? Like, if not, then, you know, I probably would just stay where I am, because it's whatever, it's fine. You know, like, I'm not a full-time streamer. I'm a caster. That's not, like, done. But I don't know. Overall, though, it's really unfortunate about the Mixer situation. I just can't believe that they walked away with, was it $30 million for Ninja and $10 million for Shroud? Like, holy crap, dude. That is just good on them.
Yeah.
Good on them for getting the bag, bro. Like, happy
I
for
saw a
them.
clip actually of
Yeah.
Tim the Tat Man, and I think it was with Dr. Disrespect, and they were like could have maybe signed with Mixer, you know, like, because they obviously, you know, I don't know if they said it publicly, but most likely they received offers at some point from other platforms because they
From
are
what
so
I understood,
massive, yeah.
everyone received offers from Facebook as well as Mixer.
It's an unfortunate situation, but they gotta bite their tongue a little bit, like left a few million on the table.
Yeah, but you can't really like make that gamble, right? Like they didn't make that
You
gamble.
shouldn't think that way either. I mean, that's incredibly
Yeah.
dangerous to think that way. But it's
You
in
know what,
hindsight.
Move over to a platform to gamble on the failure of it.
That was what
Funny.
Avast tweeted, I think. Avast was
Avast
like,
had an amazing tweet.
yeah, he was like, well, gonna teach my kids that they should look for payout money in companies that will never be successful.
Yeah, I think he said it was something like career goals to have such a large signing deal with a platform that you cause its insolvency.
Oh yeah,
my
that too.
God.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with Microsoft. Funny enough, when I left LA or when I
got 30
left
million?
San Francisco.
Holy.
No, not 30 million.
Oh, okay.
You think I'll be doing this podcast? When I got.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. You don't do it because we're friends.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I'm here. Anyway, moving on. So, I love you, Johnny. So I was offered a job to host a show for Microsoft on Xbox Live, and I was given like this deal that was just awesome. And credit to Andrew and Kurt for like really just crushing the negotiation process. My managers, because they they did it to the point where like, I was getting paid. I was getting paid a good amount of money to make a transition over to New York and work on the show with Microsoft. As many of you probably figured out, that show never happened. And in fact, they converted that show. I get there. Me and my wife are living with my mother-in-law. You guys, all right, shit, my roommate. And we get over, I go over the first day of meetings with them to go over like what we're gonna do. The guy who's running the show straight up comes to me and says, "Hey, so remember how we told you that we're gonna be doing like an esports talk show, kind of like a little sports center, a little bit, late night, like something like that?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're gonna be doing a sketch comedy show." And I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. Like I uprooted my life from San Francisco back to New York, which honestly I wanted to do anyway. But I was like, dude, I'm not an actor. Why am I doing this? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, we sit through the meeting and there were some great ideas being flown around. And then like the sketch comedy show idea died. And then obviously because the fuck, then they came to us and they said, all right, what we want you to do is we want all four of you, because there were four of us that were signed. It was myself, Ali Baker, Jess Brohard, and Future Man. And they were like, we want the four of you to come up with a show and pitch it. So obviously I wanted to do like a kind of like a comics and cars drinking coffee kind of thing with like people in esports. So that was my pitch for the show. We called it In the Booth, which was the name of my old podcast. And we did a pilot episode and it was sick. Like it was legitimately like really dope. It was myself and Benson. I asked Benson to come and do me this favor. We did the whole episode. Then we played some Call of Duty. We talked trash to each other. We had a good time. It was actually like it looked really good. Then they apparently showed it to Microsoft and Microsoft's like, oh no, I think actually we're going to just do all this stuff in Seattle. If he wants to come to Seattle and do it, we're totally fine with it. And I'm like, I'm not moving to Seattle to go and do this thing that I just moved to New York to do. Like, get the fuck out of here. and then after a little while, like they renamed it to the Mixer Studio. And then that's when they launched Mixer as like a brand. And then all this other stuff had happened. And it was just wild, bro. Like, so Microsoft kind of has a tendency to do this thing where like they want to start something. It sounds like a good idea. And then after a little while it goes, well, at least the Xbox is awesome.
Yeah. If you want to do a spin-off from In the Booth, I think we could stir up a podcast called In the Booze. I'd be down for that. I think that'd be good.
In the booze?
Yeah, In the Booze.
In the booze. I'll tell you what, I've just ordered. That's why I had to go pick up just then. Sangria ingredients.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, Johnny, for the tweet that you put out.
What fruits?
I got some oranges, some pineapple, and some apple.
Ooh.
That works. Go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
wait,
it's sangria,
pineapple,
sangria, you know.
oranges, apple, and what? We should put some grapes in there, dog.
What?
You got some
What's
brandy?
wine? I got brandy. I got some brandy. I got wine, and I'm gonna try because I saw a bunch of people saying it. The Sprite suggestion. I'm gonna try
Oh,
and mix
putting a
in.
little Sprite inside.
Well, like it's actually like half Sprite, half wine, and like a
Ooh.
couple of
Yeah.
quarts of brandy.
I did spin
Apparently
drift.
that bangs. I've never
Yeah.
tried it.
No,
Do
it's
you
Got myself
have
a
to have brandy with it? Is it necessary to have brandy?
Yeah,
Okay.
Or can
yeah.
you just do it with wine and Sprite?
Brandy is yeah, it's kind of necessary. Now I haven't ate
Necessary?
anything, so I shouldn't make it and then just drink it. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, technically there is calories in it, so
I need
No,
food.
eat something. We talked about this. Have bread.
Yeah.
stream it.
You know.
Stream it. I streamed me having the rest of that bottle of wine, and I was fucking gone with the wind.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
I saw that picture. That wine was massive.
I was out of it, man. Oh no, not that one. That's the one I'm making a sangria with because I ordered a small
okay.
bottle of wine to have dinner with, and he gave me a liter and a half of yellowtail Merlot.
This is crazy.
So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna drink all this before, so I got to turn it into something.
Hey.
So sangria, it's the option, you
Oh.
know.
Alright.
Yeah, that sounds pretty sick.
Are we gonna go play some ranked Valorant? Is that what's up?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that
Solid
sounds like the
1 hour,
plan.
10 minutes. Good
Dude,
episode.
hell yeah.
Maybe we
Wow.
don't have to.
Well,
do a
listen,
second
the people
one.
can't
episodes
complain
out.
too much because we gave them 2 episodes, 2
Yeah.
very long episodes, back to back to back.
Back to
Okay,
back to back.
so
Yeah.
Do you have any reviews on here?
Yeah, there are actually. Someone
Oh, wow.
someone DM me saying, I've been I gave a new review ages ago, and you guys keep saying there's no new reviews. Why are you lying?
what's her name?
I can't remember. I'll have to find it.
There are
Well, there is
two
a
here
review
from
on
yesterday. There are 2 from
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh well, maybe it's that.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't
let's
know.
go ahead and read it. I'm going to read this one. This one
Yeah.
is from Andre the Stig, and it says, "Back to the reviews. You said we don't write reviews anymore, and you're probably right. Josh, the Back to the Future trilogy is phenomenal. A truly timeless classic
Oh my god.
containing arguably one of the best westerns ever. Sarcasm. The second movie is a perfect prediction of an alternate reality that still disappoints me with our lack of progress. Oh, and what could have been Pepe hands. Nevertheless, best podcast ever. Really educational. I genuinely have become a true 5-head. I really should be working, and here I am growing into a sentient being due to this podcast."
Andre.
Excellent. Thank you, Andre.
I was reading reviews just then while you were reading that out. People, I've realized I haven't talked about the Ant War and an update for it.
Oh,
please
Kind of got it soundtracked, but it's not really much has happened. But they have invaded my room,
Full-
and I don't
full
know how.
invasion.
So here's what I've done. The
Holy.
actions I've taken in response to this declaration of fucking war as they've appeared in my room. They're now crawling onto my desk every now and then. One crawls up onto my desk every now and then. And I'm wondering, where did you come from? Because here's what I've done. I got the sealant that I borrowed off Jaws, which I've now basically owned because I've just been trying to seal every gap in my room. So I've been making lines of silicon sealant all underneath the boards, and I've set up a poison trap on my counter because I saw ant there every now and then. I'm hoping that trap will attract them so that I can find out where they're coming from so I can finally seal the infestation. It feels like I'm playing a Gears of War, you know? Like
Have you played Gears of War?
a long time ago, but I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
that's
they go into the thing and they have to kill the hive, right?
Yeah, but you have to throw the grenade, and that destroys the hole.
Yeah,
That's
but I feel like
basically-
that's what I'm doing, but I'm trying to plug up the hole like at all times. Like I'm always there's always it's like a ship that is sinking. There's always a way for the ants to get into my fucking room.
It is hard to plug a hole, Bren. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Okay. Someone
End the
said
show.
something. Someone said something, and I need to know this, Bren. You've spent so much money on dealing with this ant problem. Why in God's green earth have you not just hired an exterminator? At
Yeah,
some
why?
point, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting a different result. Why? Why have you not hired an exterminator?
He's doing it for the title, dude. Brennan Hook.
Why? So
Ant
that he can say that
exterminator.
he
Number
destroyed
one.
the ants?
Reason number 1.
Okay.
Because I don't want the little bastards to know that they've won. 2, I'm scared of people and I don't want to invite an exterminator in my house.
Fair. I don't like people either. Barely
That's
sent
2
my
reasons
roommate.
I got. 2 reasons.
That's
You don't
it.
like them? Yeah.
I mean,
But 3, my landlord should be paying for this, should she not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know really, because I think she would probably argue that the state of the infested crumb infested
crumb-lated.
kitchen.
But it's got to the point where it's literally it's summertime and the
course.
ants are going into the house because it's so shoddily built. Like
Mm.
it's summertime, there are gaps under every single wall. Now, the reason I haven't gone to my landlord is because she is uh a pretty bad landlord actually. Just Kurt's interactions with her just make me want to stay all the way away from her. From ever interacting with her, and also a little bit racist as well. So I just kind of
What?
don't want to. Yeah,
Well, that's
How
good
does
to
that
know.
come up? How do you even discover that with a landlord?
because we complained about the washing machines and dryers and fridge freezers and refrigerators that have been left on the property taking up space. One of them is in the garage, and two of them are off on the side. And there's a bunch of furniture and other waste that she's just left there essentially, and
Okay.
not
So she
hired
does
anyone
need
to
to
pick
clear
up.
that. Yeah.
We messaged her saying, "Can you hire someone to come collect all this shit and pick it up?" And she said, "No, just no. I apologize if this offends anyone. This is her exact words." She says, "No, just leave it outside. The Mexicans love to pick that up." So I was
Mm.
like, "Well,
That's a yikes from me.
that's a fucking yikes, dude.
That
Yeah.
is a
Like
oh,
actually
that's
a
a
yikes."
yikes.
And it's
Yep.
little interactions like that that just add up, along with
Yep.
2020, that just makes me want to just not do anything, you know?
That's
Yeah,
so shitty
no.
as well, because you're like locked into this contract now with someone who's being a total asshat. And it's just
And it's not like you
Yeah.
can interview them. You're the one that's like being judged.
Yeah,
You can't be
yeah.
like, oh, hey, do I want to share this space with you? You know? That's
Yeah.
that's
crazy.
shitty.
Dude.
That sucks. Man, we
So
have one
that's
more review.
okay.
Sorry, Brent, do you want to keep on about the
Nope,
Antwoord?
got nothing to say.
It is our most popular
That's my
segment
scouting report
for
of-
every episode. So, you know.
Yeah.
We could probably get it sponsored if we reached out. We could probably get like an ant exterminator kind of equipment thing to like sponsor the segment.
If there's any like Raid or something like that, I'd like to get sponsored by Raid. Can you imagine how much money Raid has, dude? Why hasn't Raid got involved in esports?
What's Raid?
You know, Raid is like one of the like leading brands in pest control, and they have like they're the ones with the sprays. Yeah, I mean, look, I had so many cockroaches when I live in the Bronx. Like, it's so common for me to just see a cockroach, like where I've just accepted in my life. Where I actually did have a cockroach story to tell for another time of my war against the cockroaches. And I tell you what, I won that war, and I did some heinous shit in order to get them out of my home. Huh? No, I'm telling this is a story for another day for sure. But just like I went into the DNA of the cockroaches
What?
to eliminate them.
Was this like some Rick and Morty shit? Turn yourself into a pickle to dissect the brain and...
Tell you what, we'll save it for the next episode.
What do you mean you changed the DNA of the... I kind of want to hear this now.
Nope, can't say it.
It's a
I think that's good content for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen.
It's literally a cock tease as well. It's a cockroach tease.
Ah!
Come on now, Josh.
Sorry, terrible.
Oh, bro.
I thought Alex would appreciate it.
I loved it as a proprietor, is that the word? Or I would say a connoisseur of awfully placed jokes. I appreciate that one. That was well done. Well done. All right, we got another review. Go for it. Did we get it, Johnny? You said
by Mars.
By Mars. Should I read it or you want to read it?
I'm Swedish. Why should I read it?
Okay. I don't know what that means, but that's fine. Here we go. Mars Descending. Malarkey in the best and funniest way possible. Thank you to these four incredibly hilarious people for making me look forward to their episodes every week and constantly keeping me on my toes. From conversations on AI to talking about Avatar to the detailed spoken memoirs of the Ant Wars and the Tier 7 house to the most interesting anime intro, this podcast will indubitably make you nearly die of laughter and keeps getting better. A person put indubitably in a freaking Apple review. If we somehow don't get $5 from fucking Apple for that, I don't know what our contribution to society
How do we
is.
make money from this podcast?
We don't.
Got it. I don't freaking know.
Is there a way you
Actually,
make
guys
money
keep
from
pushing it
podcasts?
back every time we record.
I mean, we could, but we don't.
Because your ass is sponsored by T-Mobile now. Don't think I didn't see that transgression and that
True.
offensive
True, actually.
thing. I can't believe you guys did that behind my back.
What?
That's crazy. Get sponsored by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever.
We can get this
That's
podcast
crazy.
sponsored by T-Mobile too.
I don't think they'd want to sponsor this podcast. I'm keeping it one. Like if there's a way for I am interested if we are able to secure a sponsorship. If we actually tried, I still don't think we'll be able to get one.
Who would be
We-
your
we might be able to
dream
get, like,
sponsorship?
Maybe like a ramen sponsorship.
I just have
Ro-
Bren eat constantly.
Shin
We
noodles.
can get
or something?
Pringles sponsorship because I would like to just eat Pringles on stream all the time.
They are delicious.
I'm okay with that. Oh my god, I just witnessed you have a Pringles tower behind you.
Oh yeah.
It's growing.
That's your brand now, dude. That's like your logo. If you ever do a logo, should just be your head shaped like the Pringle head, and that should be the.
I need to grow
the
a big
logo.
mustache then, don't I?
No, you don't need to. You just your head is so vertical, but it'll be funnier if they elongated it horizontally.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
You got it, bud. I really think you're handsome.
Your computer's running low on storage space.
Okay, we gotta end this shit. All right, folks, make sure you give us a follow on Spotify. You can also subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe there as well. Wherever you choose to listen to your audio goodness. Thank you so much for watching 4AM Podcast. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. We'll talk about the cockroach